Hey guys, what is going on, my people? Good morning, everybody. So today we're talking a taboo subject. We're talking money. Yes, the amount of money that you currently have, but also the amount of money, the potential amount of money that you could make, not only to fund the mission, but as a result, helping so many people that are out there. So I did this live stream inside of my private community for coaches, and I got so many messages back from people, and a couple of them were, why aren't you sharing this with the world? And so that's why we're here today, because I really want to hit on this topic of money. And here's the thing. So I help a lot of coaches, a lot of business owners, a lot of parents through the Dad Edge. Like there's so many different places that I tap into being able to use the skill of coaching to be able to help them. But what I have found is that a lot of people, when they talk about money, there's a lot of like shame or guilt even thinking about money. And so what they inadvertently do is they accidentally push it away instead of pull it in. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about here today, because I was very much in this spot myself when I was working full-time at LAPD, trying to make enough income in my coaching business, make enough impact to be able to leave so that I could coach more, so that I can make a bigger impact, so I can create the certification like we've created, right? And to be able to do that, I have to make money. I remember one of my mentors was like, hey, when it comes to making money, how many orphanages or water supply or treatment plants can you open with $0? And the answer is 0. And that one hit me, because I was trying to grow a business, a coaching business, for 7 years. And I plateaued around the $40,000 to $50,000 mark. And I didn't know what it was. I was looking for all the technical fixes, what to do, how to say it, how to post on social media, marketing. And if you guys have seen from my social media, I do not have a huge following in terms of like feedback and responses and call to actions. Like you're going to see there's not many hearts on my stuff. However, I've been able to successfully leave my full-time career, retire my wife, and now get to do this full time. And the reason why is what I'm going to teach you really quickly today. And that is I was able to go from $40,000 to $50,000 a year on my 7th year to go up to 100, to go up to 200, and then to hit almost 400. And the biggest game changer was not the things that I was doing, even though that did need to change, but it was my relationship with money that changed it all. I remember when my coach said, the way that you think about money determines how much of it that you will have. I was like mind blown. So let me say that again. The way that you think about money determines how much of it you have. And let me just say, like, I kind of got trapped in that going, well, how do I think of money? And really what you can do is you can go back to the conversations that you're having in your brain around what it's like when you ask people to pay you money, what it's like when you give people money, what it's like for you to buy or pay into a program, or for somebody to buy or pay into your programs. And if there's an icky feeling there, it's not the fact that it has anything to do with money. It's your relationship with money and how you think about it. And guys, when this changed for me, everything transformed. Now, here's the thing. I want to make sure I call this out. And that is like when, like some people think that like when you get to a certain point, like everything is like good to go. You never have to worry about like the idea of thinking about money and your relationships. But what I got to say is like every level, it's kind of the same thing. Like I've coached people who are making $0 to make more than $0. I've coached people who to make hundreds of thousands of dollars to make even more. And it's this thing where sometimes we get trapped in our brain, and the way that we think about money gets us to be where we're currently at, and we have to think about it differently to get to that next step. And yes, there are technical ways of doing it. There's different like collaborations, there's networking, there's all of these different things. But if your relationship in your brain with money is not on point, none of those things will work, because you'll be pushing it away instead of pulling it in. It's like chasing people, right? And I know a lot of you guys do not enjoy chasing people, but that's kind of like what I see. Is I see a lot of coaches who are in the chasing mentality as opposed to the showing up, yes, calling people forward when it's time, but also not having that negative energy, because there's a lot of like weird energy that where you end up pushing people away instead of pulling them in. Now, I told you I want to share the strategy that really helped me. And I want to take a couple levels deep here, because a lot of times what people think is they think it's what they need to do. They need to do something different to make more money. And that might be the case, but it always stems from the way that you think. Now, when I take clients through this and I'm having conversations with them, I'm trying to get them to be open to making more money. And once they do make more money. Some of our clients have never had a coach, never had a client before. And then after having this conversation, being able to guide them through the session, they had 3 clients the next week. And this is the power of what happens when you start to pull them in. But one of the things that I really want to call out to is a lot of coaches think that this whole process of being able to like get better with their relationship with money has to do with the process of coaching themselves. Now, here's the thing. I wrote a book. It's called Mastering Your Life Through Self-Coaching. It's really powerful. Self-coaching is the greatest gift I feel like I ever gave to me. I gave to my kids. I gave to Teresa, my wife. I've given to my clients. Because it's one of those gifts when you can coach and lead yourself, I really do believe that you earn the right to lead others. But here's the issue with that, is when people think everything starts with self-coaching, what they do is they think that where the problem is the same place where their solution is. So hear me out on this, because I literally have written the book on self-coaching because it's been such impactful for me. I've lost 100 pounds, being able to create a business like how I've created to be able to retire early. But here's the thing, it didn't all happen in here. It didn't all happen by myself. They say that when you're trapped in the box, you can't read the label. And so one of the things I hear this from coaches all the time is I coach myself through this, and if you're saying that, it's because you really don't see what is actually keeping you stuck. Now, the truth when it comes to life and performance coaching is our subconscious mind is really what keeps us stuck. It's these thoughts about money when we're not even thinking about money that we accidentally put out into the world and push it away. So how are we going to coach ourselves through it when we actually don't know what those thoughts, what those stories, and what those perspectives are that are keeping us stuck? That's why there's power in finding somebody, a mentor, somebody to help you, maybe somebody to get some coaching. Maybe even this presentation here today is going to help call out and reframe some of those thoughts that you're thinking, some of those perspectives that you're leaning into, and open you up to being able to pull in, to attract more, and ultimately make more impact in your life. So this is the way I think about the process of self-coaching, because it is important with this. The self-coaching is the day-to-day stuff that you do for yourself so that you get yourself to take action on the things you know, number one, could hold you back, but number two, are going to move you forward. That's the process of self-coaching. But before you can coach yourself, you need to get an outside perspective to see why you're actually stuck. And the truth is I can't give you one here because I've dealt and talked to thousands of clients, and everyone has a slightly different one. There isn't a universal thing. Some people grew up not having enough money. Some people have this feeling that if they ask for money, it means they're a bad person, right? Or some people just want to give everything away for free and say, people are going to come to me and they're going to eventually want to pay for my stuff. And that's not how it works, guys. We have to get good at coaching ourselves through this process after we've gotten the aha moment of what is actually keeping us stuck, and then taking that and then using self-coaching every day to lean in, to take the actions you want to take, to show up the way that you want to show up, to not chase people, but do it in a way that gets them to be attracted to what it is you're doing because you really do have their answers. This is what making money is all about. It's about the relationship that you have with it, your thoughts about it, your perspectives about it, because that will lead you to take certain actions or not take certain actions and will keep you exactly where you're at. Like Jim Rohn said, if you want something different, you have to do something different. And doing something different comes from thinking something different. That's why it's all about trying something new. That's why it's all about getting out of your comfort zone and not trying to do this all by yourself. Because when you can step into this power, everything will change. Everything has changed for me, for sure, because I was able to get really up close and personal with some of those stories are telling me. And that's what, not only do I love to do, but that's what I teach to do inside of our certification. So here's the thing. If you are somebody who you are looking to make more money because you want to be able to fund this, you want to be able to help more people. And by the way, when people pay, they pay attention. I can't tell you how many free things I've given away for free and people don't take action on it because it hasn't cost them something. And when you lean into that and realize that you can help people get more results, you can actually use it to continue to grow your family, to continue to support your family, to do so in a way that you can coach even more, that's where the true power comes. But you have to keep reminding yourself of that. You have to keep getting coached at that different level, and you got to keep putting yourself in an environment of getting uncomfortable in order to do that. Of course, if we are somebody who can help you, I would love for you to coach yourself, and I would love for you to write in the comments below money, send me a DM, whether we jump on and I can have a conversation with you, help you get to the root of what it is that you're going through, whether it could be a certification program where just like how you're practicing this and you're leaning in and getting coached, maybe you want to help coach other humans through this, whether it's money, relationships, health, wealth, business, anything like that. It all starts in here. Yes, the tactical things are important, but they all don't matter if you don't actually work what's going on in here. So if that's something you're interested in, hit us up, comment below the word money, and I'll reach out to you and have a conversation. And we'll jump on and we'll see how we can get to the root of what's actually keeping you stuck. But don't keep doing what you've always done, because you're going to keep getting what you've always gotten.